Hi everyone, welcome to episode 14.
15?
15.
Jesus, we're a long way through now, veterans
Footy
now.
Focus. So Shanika, you have some exciting news to share?
So we're going on a little bit of a hiatus.
Yeah, we are.
Me and the missus.
Yeah, going on a second honeymoon.
Second honeymoon.
Shanika won the lotto recently, so
100 mil, yeah. Now, going to Europe for a few weeks, so what are you going to do when I'm gone? Are you going to continue
you're going to miss
this?
out on Port Adelaide's final campaign.
We're not there yet, mate. We're not there yet.
I think you'll make it. You're in the top 8.
Okay, touch wood.
100
times.
Yeah, so might have to get a guest listener on. So
Have you got any ideas, or are we going to keep it a secret?
might keep it
You're
a
gonna
secret,
surprise
but yeah, I
We
talked
do
to
have a-
someone.
We do have a mate that's keen as well. I'm not sure if his footy knowledge is that good, though.
Yeah, that's true.
We'll see.
Maybe you can talk about the finance in the AFL or something. But no, we'll try to get someone on. Maybe do a bit of a finals preview till you're back. Keep your seat warm.
I'll be back for the grand final recap, so...
Will you actually when are you back?
Yeah, the day before grand final.
Okay. Alright, cool. Let's move on to some non-footy news.
So the Ashes, the second test is coming up on, I think it's Wednesday. So Australia looks to go in unchanged.
I didn't watch a live ball being bowled, I don't think.
A live ball.
I might have watched maybe an over.
So you're just reading it on Cricinfo.
Not even that, just like
Oh, don't even care.
blogs, I suppose.
Okay. Sounds a bit like our friend back in the day. So they've still got Stark and Hazelwood in the wings too.
He's not our friend anymore. That's
Oh, sorry, my bad. He's not. So Stark and Hazelwood are in the wings, so I don't think they'll play in the second test because they've had a few days in between to rest up, but I think they'll definitely get a go in the next 3 tests. And the England bowler, I said Jofra Archer, so he's going to play in the second test, I think, for Jimmy Anderson.
so he'll come in, that'll make a difference, I think.
So I think they might go for like a bodyline type strategy, just try and bounce Steve Smith out.
Yeah, they need. Is
target.
that his weakness, the short ball?
Well, I think anyone's weakness is the short ball at pace. Because
Okay.
Jofra Archer can bowl 90 miles an hour.
Yeah, whatever it is, they need to set
Do
the
something.
field correctly and get him out. That'll go to a long way for
Well, that's the
them.
key. If he has a quiet test, I think that's probably the key to England winning. But
Yeah,
I mean, Wade and Head both made runs in the first test too, so it's not all about Steve Smith. But yeah, Warner, Bancroft, or Kawaja, one of the top 3 need to step up and make some runs. So it's at Lords too, which is probably the best cricket ground in the world.
yeah. Okay. Any chance of Carey coming in? Is he over there or not?
Payne really
No?
needs to get injured.
Okay, sure. Right.
Yeah, they're not going to play him as a specialist batsman, unfortunately, I don't think.
Right. Okay.
And you got a good preview.
Yeah, the Rugby World Cup's coming up, starting on November the 20th.
Is
I
it
think.
Union or League?
I mean September the 20th.
Union?
What is it?
As in the All Blacks.
I
One
don't
that's
know.
the All Blacks. Oh, must be Union
Is
then.
it?
Must be
No
Union,
idea. Okay. I'll research that for the next podcast.
So where is it?
It's in Tokyo this year. Goes for 6 weeks, did you know?
6 weeks?
It's ridiculous, yeah.
That's like longer than the Cricket World Cup.
Yeah, so the final is November the 2nd.
Okay. That's a long way away.
Yeah.
Is KO showing? That's the
I
Queen
think they
question.
are. I hope so. I don't know, actually. But yeah,
I don't
hopefully
think
I'll
they
watch a bit of it. So remember, like during school days, whatever World Cup was on,
We watched
we
it.
used to get into it and even play it during lunchtime.
Yeah.
Like regardless whatever it is, like cricket, soccer.
Rugby. Yeah, soccer we used to play soccer.
Yeah, we used
100%.
to play. Yeah,
Should be interesting.
good old days. Well, yeah, the jocks played anyway. No, even the other guys got into it. I'm pretty sure.
What, Water Boys?
Yeah. Oh no.
They gave us the water, right?
No, I remember Nips running
They
down.
cut up the
with the
oranges
rugby
for us,
ball.
right? Okay.
All right.
move
They're not
on.
going to listen to this anyway. So,
The drive-by's worth it.
topic.
Yeah, so the main topic. So Mark Robertson, your boy, you love Mark Robertson.
Robbo,
don't you?
he's been good this year. No, he's been.
He's quality TV actually on AFL 360.
Yeah.
So he wrote a really good article on danger. It wasn't just on danger. It was a really fascinating read.
Danger as in like caution,
Oh,
sort of
no,
that sort of thing.
Patrick Dangerfield,
Dangerfield.
the guy that killed you
Well,
guys on the weekend.
Some people listening to this would know. Yeah, he was actually very dangerous on the weekend.
Discuss that in shortly. So it's basically an article on the best current players not to have won a flag, and even goes through previous players. So Dangerfield. So he said, the flag's the only thing missing from his resume. He's obviously surrounded by the likes of Selwood and Hawkins and even Harry Taylor as well. And the quote he had was like, "I hate it, I hate it, I hate it." So he's been surrounded by those guys at club events. They're all multiple
Yeah, the one premiership ultimate success. Sort of
flag players. It was really interesting the comment he had on Sean Burgoyne. So he obviously respects him as a footballer, one of the best Indigenous footballers of all time, but he said he hates Sean Burgoyne for that 2012 prelim. So there was a clearance, I think Adelaide were down less than a goal, and then Sean Burgoyne got thrown into the middle, was lined up on danger, got away from danger, one of his typical clearances, and then I think Rioli got on the end of it and kicked that goal, which sealed the game. So I think Danger still regrets that, which it's 7 years later. He's won a Brownlow, he's done a lot of things since then. So I guess
it shows you how much players value premierships over individual accolades.
Yeah, exactly. And he said, I think he'd not throw away his Brownlow, but give that one away just to have the taste of a flag. And I guess there's a school of thought, it's not just footy, it's probably NBA and whatever other sports.
Speaking of giving something away to have something, you know what Scott Thompson said this weekend? Said
tell me. I know it, but
he'd give his left nut to play footy, and he almost did because it got bruised or ruptured.
So that's why he retired, right?
I don't know.
That was unbelievable speech though.
That was pretty funny.
That was the best speech of all time. Goodbye speech anyway. No, but there's a school of thought that exists that a player's legacy is only defined by winning a flag, and it's not just in football. I mean, LeBron James, Kevin Durant have moved teams literally to chase that elusive ring, and they've both got it. So it's, I guess, not just a football topic, but it's a sports topic as well. So, but I guess chasing the flag can have the opposite effect. I mean, Deledio went to the Giants thinking they were in the window. Tigers didn't make the finals that year, and the next year Tigers won. Beat his team in the prelim. Same as Ryan Griffin too.
Good examples, yeah.
And Ryan Griffin, so he left the Bulldogs as a captain. 2 years later they won. He retired without a premiership. So I guess it can go wrong on the other foot too. I mean, Gary Ablett, Plugger Lockett, Bob Skilton's, they're three of the best players of all time, and they've never won a flag. I think Bob Skilton didn't even play in the final.
Probably. Oh, you've mentioned him.
Yeah, Rewalt. Good talk. It's a Rewalt. So
Pavlich.
Pavlich is another good example too. So there's a lot of players that just haven't got a flag, and it's probably, I don't know, you think it's due to luck or team?
Definitely luck. There's so much you can do being a great player. You need players around you, game plan,
it's a 22-man
culture. Exactly. So sometimes you're just unlucky. If Rewalt played for Geelong, of course he would have won multiple premierships. But yeah. Well, speaking about moving clubs, chasing a flag, they interviewed Patrick Cripps earlier this year, and
good interview.
They asked him if Carlton are still cellar dwellers next year before that, and West Coast, he's a Perth boy, so if West Coast or Freo came asking you to come home, offering you, would you go there, knowing that you've done all you can for Carlton and they would get compensated to win a premiership with, say, West Coast? And he said, do you know what he said?
He said he'd stay, right?
He said he'd stay, but his reasoning for that was that it would mean a lot more to him to help Carlton build into a great club and have this success rather than him just fleeing to a ready-made team and winning one. So that was really showed his character as a person, I thought.
Yeah, he didn't want a bandwagon jump, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, Nick Rewalt's a perfect example, like you said.
Yeah, because Collingwood, didn't they offer him a contract during his prime?
Yeah, but Maguire offered him, so he would have been part of that 2010 flag. And there was a bad bounce against Mill running into an open goal and the Scarlet Toe Poke. So they've changed those two things. He's probably got 2 flags. Kane Collins on the crunch time, I think, on SEN, he said he wouldn't be able to sleep at night if he didn't win one. That's probably due because we choked the 3 years before that. But,
that's true.
I guess my take on it's Danger doesn't become any better. His legacy is not increased or enhanced if he doesn't end up winning a flag, because he's done all he can for Crows and Geelong at this stage. So I think a flag's just another thing to add to the resume. I mean, I'm really resonated with me because I've got 5 grand final losses and no flags in tennis and cricket. So I guess your greatness isn't defined by a flag, it's defined by your career. So Pavlich is best player in Freo's history, but he's going to end up with no flag. And there's plenty of not rubbish players, but plenty of average players that don't want a flag.
Some players just get lucky. First year they win the premiership. There's been Jack Graham.
He's 4th or 5th game.
I mean,
he's a good player.
He's a young player, but somebody it's got to have luck.
Does that mean he's a better player than Danger? I mean, no way.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, what's your take on it? You reckon?
No, I reckon. I agree with you. Rewalt, he's in the media. I'm sure he has a stable financial or a life for him and his family for the future. And he hasn't won a premiership. It doesn't lessen what he's done.
He'll go as not as a legend, but he'll go into the Hall of
Hall
Fame.
of Fame,
First ballot,
easily,
first year eligible.
Yeah. All right, that's a good topic.
So we'll go on to the something we are grateful for segment. So
I might do my one because you've been talking a bit. Do you have a sponsor?
Oh yeah, I do. So it's Anaconda. So they've got some great.
So it's sponsored by you.
Actually, you talk about your thing because my thing leads into my one. It's a segue.
Oh, sure.
You go your one.
Yeah, so I'm grateful for Cal Twomey's Phantom Form Guide. So Cal Twomey's a draft guru on AFL.com. So he does his take on the stars of the future, pretty much, the players that are eligible to be drafted in November. So he releases sort of a monthly update.
The running update.
Yeah, from about June, July until November. So he released his August edition last week. So we might just talk about 3 players that we haven't mentioned because we've mentioned a few. I think we mentioned like Anderson and
a few of the WA
Sarong,
boys too.
Yeah, and also a few father and sons, Mead and Henry, and so. But today might teach you, I guess, tell you about some big country boys. So the first one we'll talk about is Lachie Ash. So he's a 186 centimeter halfback flanker at the moment. He can push into a midfield, and he's just that running dashing halfback that can break the lines and kick accurately to a leading player.
It's perfectly suited to the modern game.
Yeah, exactly. So maybe like McKenna, maybe a bit better than McKenna. Hibbard, maybe that sort of type, from what I've read. I've watched a bit of him, but mostly this is based on sort of other recruiters' opinion. Yeah. So he can intercept the ball and he can win his own ball as well. So that's sort of his point of difference as that dashing player. He's not just a receiver. He can, win the contested ball.
Probably move into the midfield later on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, he's got the size and depending on his aerobic capacity. So looking at about pick 3 to 10, and he'd be up there as one of the players I'd want at the Kangaroos because we have that pick 6, so he might fall around there. Another big country boy is a key backman. He's 200 centimeters. His name's Sam Koning. So this guy's got his brother plays for Carlton.
Okay, yeah.
And he's actually a cousin of someone I went to primary school with.
Okay. Mark?
No. Is Mark his brother? No. Now, Paul De Koning. He's... You're thinking about Mark Chadwick.
Someone the one who went to school with, yeah.
So one of our other friends told me about this, actually. So Sam De Koning's is sort of like a bolter in this year's draft. Yeah. So he was All-Australian under 18s as a backman. So he's pretty slim, so he'll probably take a couple of years in the VFL to develop and get that frame. Yeah. But he's an agile big man with good skills, can intercept, but his kicking sometimes lets him down. So if he can improve that, he might be like that Harris Andrews type of player. So I hope
that's probably his comparison.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So if he can model his game on someone like that, being that tall defender,
200 centimeters, that's a ruckman.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting taller and taller. Like remember when Wayne Carey was in our 40s? 192 or something. Yeah. One more player we'll talk about is Sam Flanders. So this guy is a 182 centimeter midfield forward. So he's not that quick. So he's compared to Petrarca, but I think Petrarca might have a bit more pace. Yeah. But Flanders is that powerful player he's got good skills, good above his head, good clearance player. Plays a lot taller than he is, and he can kick a goal. He's more that opportunist goal kicker. So I did watch a game maybe a couple of months ago, and he got the ball a few times, so he can get into the right positions.
So he sounds like a natural footballer.
Yeah, he does. Like, not too flashy, but maybe even like Dunkley. I don't know. I guess Dunkley's not that quick, but he didn't seem that flashy, so I don't know where he'll fall. Maybe pick 10 around that area. So, so watch out for him. So
there's a few good Vic country boys this season. They're probably going to make up most of the top 2 rounds.
They normally do, yeah. And Vic Metro and country do, so maybe might do some Metro boys next week. But no.
So who's your tip for pick 3? Because obviously it's Anderson and...
I can tell you who Cal Twomey's pick 3.
Who's pick 3?
Caleb Sarong, he had
Sarong,
3,
okay.
yeah. So that was your Robbie Gray type, crafty smaller. He's a bit short though, 170.
He's a bit stocky, isn't he?
Yeah, 178 centimeter. Yeah, but no, he apparently he'll be.
Because obviously Anderson and Rowell are probably going to Gold Coast the way it looks like, doesn't it?
Oh, I don't think they'll get that.
Don't think?
No, they shouldn't get that priority pick. Number
but
one
they're the
priority
top
pick.
two. Clearly.
Yeah, so they'll go to Melbourne or whoever.
Okay.
Alright, so we might. I love the draft, so looking forward to watching. I might watch a bit of it. Speaking about watching the draft, so it was really interesting. The game's more exciting than AFL. I watched the game like a few months ago.
Yeah.
I was saying, because the coaches just let them play their natural game.
Okay.
So there's no like flooding or anything like that.
The coaches aren't dictating how the game looks.
Yeah, exactly. So it was really good to watch. Like it was attacking, and it wasn't like the floodgates open, and it wasn't like a shootout or anything. But yeah, it was
because the priority is to, I guess, make those guys look attractive to recruiters,
show
not
what
to
their
win
skills are. Yeah,
the comp.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean that's a priority, but it's not number one.
Exactly. Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Should watch again. So yeah. The sponsor for this segment, so it's Anaconda. So it's got some great snow gear like skis, gloves and beanies. So it's a good little segue into Clarko.
Perfect.
So that's my, grateful for Clarko's genius. So,
just in time for spring.
Yeah, exactly. So he's obviously maintained the no sleeves policy, running around the oval without a shirt on the day before the game, wearing shorts on game day. It's obviously a snowy camera conditions.
So he wore short sleeves and stuff.
He wore short sleeves. So he's obviously, and you could see just the way they played, it would seem like it seemed like Giants had lost the game before the board had been bounced and Hawks had won. But it's not...
Yeah, it was the only tip I got wrong this week.
Yeah, can't blame you. I thought Giants would win too. But he's just a genius. Like he's followed around Mike Lombardi, who's... I'm not sure if you heard of him. He's like an advisor to... Or he used to be an advisor to Bill Belichick, who's the GOAT of NFL coaches. Mm-hmm. So in the week off by, he's literally followed him around just to get some little insights into... Bill Belichick and the New England Patriots, just to get some, I guess, point of difference with that little 1%. So Kane Corns also said he dived into an ice-cold river when no one else was game in a New Zealand pre-season camp in 2003, which he organised.
Because he was assistant coach with you guys.
Yeah, left obviously during the final series when he got appointed Hawks coach next year. But a few of the players said it was a catalyst for the 2004 flag after 3 seasons of choking. So it's not just... Clarko was doing that back then as well. So, probably the GOAT of AFL coaches, I would have thought.
Like the media portrays him as some angry little man, but I guess on the inside he's
probably worth 3 or 4 wins, just him.
Just him, yeah. Must be a really good people person.
So we have a game review. I'm not sure if you're looking forward to this one,
Not
Sinead.
really. It'll be, short.
So who played?
So it was, I think it was just the Cats until... but it wasn't as bad as the scoreboard... indicated. Like the first half was pretty competitive. We should have probably kicked a couple of goals, and
so why didn't you?
Just inaccuracy, and there was a free kick that didn't go noticed. But not blaming umpires, but should have been a little bit closer at half time. But definitely in the third and fourth quarter, they just strangled the Kangaroos, as what the media is sort of saying, and that's pretty true. Every time we kept going into our forward 50, like Stewart and
Taylor,
who else was there?
Henderson.
Taylor, Henderson, that cut it off. Pretty much, and they just dominated. I thought Narkle was good, so Narkle came in for his first game, and he was one of the best players on the ground. So
one bombshell.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he gave him that zip, which they Cats sort of lacked the last few weeks. So Danger sort of set the game up in the first quarter. So he had, I think, 22 possessions in the first quarter. For us, Cunnington, Pittard, Scott Thompson were again pretty good. I guess the ball was down in the defensive end a lot.
So on that, you reckon Thompson should rethink his retirement because he took 7 intercept
Yeah, he was
marks.
really good. He was one of our better players. He's
having a good year.
He is, yeah. I reckon he could have gone on, but apparently he went to Rhyce Shaw and said that he thinks his time's up. Okay. So it was him. So I think the club would have been keen for him to go on.
Year. Pittard's having a good year too.
Yeah, he is. He's really good overhead, and he made a couple of errors with his disposal on Saturday night. But it's really hard to play in Skills Stadium. It was dewy, it was a bit swirly.
And they just choked you, I think.
Exactly, yeah. It's really hard to win over there. They were saying in the commentary, since 2007, when they started their premiership, they've won 88 games out of 100. Yeah. So that's insane. That's really crazy, yeah. Yeah, it was the only thing that made me happy or not as depressed during this was the fact that when I looked at the app and the other game that was down the road in Marvel Stadium, Essendon had let Western Bulldogs kick 21 goals in a row. So there was sort of like another game, Kangaroos versus Essendon during this game. Both teams were on 14 points. Yeah. And Essendon happened to kick 3 goals in the last 5 minutes of the game. So they won that. So it's not all bad for Essendon. But I think the thing that kept Essendon and Kangaroos supporters sane on Saturday night was knowing that the other rival
was doing just as bad.
Yeah, exactly.
So what do you think about Rhyce Shaw? Because obviously, if you not critics, but it's obviously
to be honest, I haven't even thought about Rhyce Shaw until I read sort of demos and the medias. Yeah, like before that, during the game, it didn't even occur to me that what do we do? It's just enough. You forget about all that. It's Rhyce Shaw for the next 3 years, and you think about the list and what we can do better. So don't worry about the coach. He'll be good in the future.
Is there an assistant coach you'd want to put around him?
Like a senior
one, like a. I think you're interested in looking at what's his name, Alan Richardson.
Are we?
Would you? Yeah.
Did you?
I saw interested. I didn't say interviewed, but I saw interested.
Maybe McCarthy. Is it McCarthy?
McCarthy. He's leaving the
McCarthy. Yeah, because I don't know. He did get sacked from the Bulldogs, but it was right after that. Then they became.
He developed the handball contested game that they won the premiership.
Yeah, exactly. So I wouldn't mind someone like him. I know he's been sacked and stuff, but maybe even Scott Cambrielli. Maybe I don't know.
Yeah, well, that'd be good too.
Yeah, he might be okay. So someone, I think Rhyce Shaw, he probably needs that.
Yeah,
and wouldn't mind moving on Crocker and Tudor and a couple of the other assistants.
Yeah, some fresh blood in there.
Yeah. Did you watch a bit of the Eagles-Crows game?
Yeah, so that was actually a cracking game. Didn't think it would be.
Yeah, I watched a bit of it as well.
And I think, I've said it before on this pod, but I think the Eagles are just a deeper team than last year. They've obviously got Natanui who may or may not come back, but obviously apart from the A-graders, Gaffer and Shepherd who weren't there for
don't
the flag last year.
Don't think Natanui should come back, right?
Nah, I don't think he will. I think they'll
There's no point.
err on the side of caution.
Yeah,
he's just signed a contract. It's not worth it, I think.
Because if you bring in Nick Nat, then your game plan sort of shifts a little bit.
Yeah, you got to worry about rotations, game time.
Exactly, and you might get injured again. So just go with what you have. You know the game plan. It's more predictable. And keep on.
Yeah, so you got Oscar Allen, Jared Cameron, Jake Waterman and Petruccelli. Not sure if all of them will play in finals, but I think every flag team needs a bit of fresh blood just to be injected to repeat. So I think Rioli's going to another level. He had 21 touches, which you don't normally associate with any type of Rioli.
He slipped to like 50 or whatever.
Oh, he was overweight back then, but it's a big steal. Another Darling was best on ground with 3 goals. Talia really shut down Kennedy, so it was really Darling or nothing for West Coast to get anything out of the key forwards.
You think Darling would make All-Australian?
Maybe not this year. I think there's a few other players. Probably. I mean, Cameron's been.
Cameron has to win. If he wins a Coleman, you're automatically in.
I mean, why shouldn't Ben Brown? I think Ben Brown's had.
But that's not the rule, isn't that the rule? Like if you win the Coleman, you're in. That's the rule. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no, that is. But I think Ben Brown should be ahead of Darling. I would have thought.
No, I don't think so. But
I think Darling had a slowish start to the year, but I think Elliot Yeo is probably their best player. Probably evidenced by him winning the BNF last year in the flag year. Sloane out with Blue Division. I think the first clearance of the third quarter probably turned the game a bit.
Head knock, with Matt Crouch.
Yeah, Matt Crouch. So it was a bit of friendly fire, but Eagles broke the game open in that third quarter after that injury. I think the only weakness I can see in the Eagles is probably Hickey in the ruck, but he's doing the job so far. But you just wonder if he comes up against a Grundy or maybe a Mumford who might bully him. That's probably the only weakness I can see for Eagles.
No, you just got to worry about
Richmond,
to be honest, and maybe Stephen Martin.
Richmond's Nankervis, so probably
Geelong don't really have a recognised ruckman. So
it's probably the only Grundy, isn't it?
I think West Coast, they're in good shape. If that's the only problem.
So obviously a few positives for the Crows. So Darcy Fogarty was obviously the main one.
He looks good, doesn't he?
Yeah, really strong presence, and he's probably the best set shot at goal already in the comp. Yeah. So it's really much needed. Tess Walker and Josh Jenkins aren't really your traditional key forwards. They're not really kicking down the line. So they're more your agile types. So Fogarty's really good in there.
Yeah, Fogarty's almost done more than Rayner, Brayshaw, Chera, Davies Uniacke already. Only Stephenson will be ahead of him out of that top draftee class.
So I think Josh Jenkins is a favourite of mine. I think he's probably played his last game for the Crows. So couldn't see him playing for the Crows next season. And Eagles' top 2 chances probably depend on the game versus the Tigers at the G, which is probably the game of the season.
Looking like it's going to rain again, so it might be...
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Probably September-like game. And Crows obviously got to win out probably to play finals. Pies at home and Dogs in Ballarat. The Dogs in Ballarat's probably the game that might get that 8th position, depending on if Bombers lose the next 2.
So I think Bombers, they'll probably lose against Collingwood last round. So depends the Freo Bombers game.
Well, that's at Optus too.
Yeah.
So that's probably
it. Without the emotional sort of a rebound factor, you'd think Essendon lose and they drop out of the 8.
Yeah.
Which makes
Crows or Bulldogs.
Like Port.
Oh, Port too.
Might finish 7th and Dogs might sneak into 8. But maybe we'll talk about that next week.
For sure. Yeah. We've got on the spot questions. So it's presented to you by MJ Song, the man in the middle. So like someone we know getting the hospital handball. So I'll ask you first, Shahan.
Man in the middle. I think it's Man in the Mirror actually.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, rename that song too. Okay. No copyright issues there. So should Gary Ablett retire at the end of the year?
I think...
You're trying to kill off the star, are you? You typed the question. This is like Footy classified.
Okay. I typed it because Ablett didn't kill us on the weekend, and he normally does.
Yeah.
So it got me thinking, is Ablett coming to an end? Because he didn't get the 3 votes against the Kangaroos. Should he retire? But I had to look at the stats, and he had 23 times, 10 tackles.
Must have been a quiet game then.
Yeah, but he topped the fantasy score. So no, he shouldn't retire. I think regardless of if the Cats win the next premiership or not, I think he's got 1 more year left in him, and he can teach the kids. I don't know if that's his strong suit though, but...
Well, he's really quiet and tapered off a little bit since the start.
He has a little bit, yeah. But I think AFL world would want him to go on again, because he does the miracle thing now and then. So sticking with Geelong, do you think Harry Taylor might go to the Suns, or should he?
I think Sean Burgoyne's already said no, so I couldn't see Harry Taylor going to Gold Coast, because he's turned down WA, which is where he's from.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously the Suns should look at him; he'd be perfect for them. But I don't think he's going to go though.
Yeah.
They're not really an attractive place to go unless you...
But they need someone like the Hodge type, as they keep saying.
They need someone, but I just can't see... I don't think Ruffhead's going to go up to the Gold Coast.
No, Ruffhead's a bit cooked anyway. You want someone that can play a bit. Dale Morris has been thrown up.
Dale Morris would be perfect too.
Who else? Anyone from Richmond? Probably not. Richmond, they're a pretty young team, premiership team.
Sounds like Gary Ablett, but he's already been there.
Anyone? Okay, you can ask me something.
I'll ask you. So the Bulldogs, they had a pretty impressive win. So do you reckon they can? You reckon they're a flag threat?
Yeah,
good call.
Yeah, like earlier this podcast, we talked about the team from the bottom half of the 8 winning it, and I think there are teams in the bottom half of the 8 whose best is good enough.
Yeah,
the media do say it. Like I know Richmond and West Coast, their best is like really good.
Yeah,
but any given Sunday, Port Adelaide's best. Western Bulldogs best. Collingwood probably have too many injuries.
Yeah.
But it's mainly those 2 teams really that can definitely give it a shake if the conditions are right. Even Greater West Sydney, get a couple of their midfielders back, and they can definitely do some damage. So they've been playing really well, the Western Bulldogs. Their midfield's deep. Defense, I guess their forward line and defense are the weaknesses, but
key tools.
Yeah. But otherwise, if they can sneak in and maybe get a Collingwood at the G, they can definitely do some damage.
Yeah, with a bit of pace.
What should I ask you? So, should John Worsfold go if the Dons don't make the finals?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards yes. I think, obviously they had a couple of shocking performances at the start of the year. Probably thought it was behind them, but even without the injuries, when players stop trying 2 weeks in a row with finals on the line, they haven't sealed their place yet. Haven't won a final in 15 years, 75,000 members even after the drug saga. I think the supporters probably deserve more. There's supporters walking out at half time, which doesn't exist yet. I mean, even the Tigers this year, they're missing their big 4 players, and they went to Port and beat them in Adelaide. So, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah, the ladder position probably flatters them a little bit. They got over the line a couple of times, and they only beat the Suns by 10 points.
Yeah.
So, I think you're right. If they don't make finals, it might be, Blake Carousella might even get the full-time job.
Yeah, a bit like Radman and Alan Richardson.
Yeah, exactly. So this is a big one. Scott Lycett, he recruited him from the West Coast on big money. Will he play the finals if Laddams and Ryder keep up their good work?
I don't think he will. He had a 30-30 game on the weekend, so 30 possessions, 30 hit-outs
in the sample. Oh, wow.
But look, I think Laddams and Ryder, their stats are a bit powdered the last 2 weeks. Dons and Swans probably have the worst two ruck divisions in the comp, especially with Bell Chambers out and Sinclair out for the Swans. So, look, I think
Aaliyah ruck?
Yeah, Aaliyah was rucky on the weekend.
And who?
So,
someone else?
I don't remember the guy's name. He probably says it all. Look, I think unless one of them has a bad performance in the next couple of weeks, I don't think he's going to get back in. But look, I think Ryder's not going to be there next year, so Lycett's going to be part of that two-pronged ruck attack next season.
Yeah, what happened with Lycett? Because he had a good game only like a month ago. Like he was best on ground or something.
I think they were looking for a four-quarter performance, and Lanham was banging the door down the last month before then.
Yeah,
and look, it's paid off.
We were chasing him, and then he signed a 3-year deal.
He's from Port. So.
No, I would have loved him at the Roos.
So I'll ask you, the 1979 Blues premiership reunion, they actually gave a standing ovation to Teague. Now, do you reckon that seals his job?
I think if he has another couple of games like what he did on the weekend, like lose to Richmond by 22 points or whatever it was, then I think it should. It'll be hard for them to appoint anyone else. Yeah. Who are they going to appoint?
Well, the whole support's for them.
Yeah, like Voss
Clark's not coming. So
yeah, exactly.
Longmire's
it's
gone.
Similar. All three clubs without coaches, they're in a similar boat. Like their caretakers they've done a really good job. And the experienced coaches have ruled out moving clubs. So who you left with? So, and all this criticism about Kangaroos appointing Rhyce Shaw, like if we wait until the end of the year and appoint him anyway, then like what? It's the same result. Like they would be happy with that, but if we just because we did it now, they're like having a go. Like
doesn't make a difference.
So what? They would rather us to continue, say our alright form, same form as Rhyce Shaw until the end of the year, and then out of nowhere we appoint like Sumich or someone. So media is just reactive.
Yeah. So hashtag Teague Train 2020.
Yeah, but shave your hair or dye it grey or something.
He's not listening clearly.
Might ask you, who do you think the most improved player in 2019 is? Bit of an on-the-spot question.
Brian Marshall.
Yeah, I was
Brian Marshall, because no one had heard of him last year. And
that's a good...
Yeah, was he number one ranked champion data player for the last 10 weeks? Maybe not the last 10 weeks, but a 10-week patch, he was the number one player. So even on the weekend, he looked like he got injured, but he battled manfully against Freo's two rucks. And
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, big part in winning the game.
And maybe honourable mentions to Dunkley and Jared Lyons. They're both being pretty good as well this year.
Darcy Burn-Jones.
Yeah, he's been really good. And Houston as well. So couple of the underrated Port Adelaide players.
So move on to the...
Do you want another question?
Oh, yeah. I'll ask you. So, the players exploiting the 30-second rule. We don't talk about umpires here, but you know when they pretend like they're going to have
a shot. Yeah, I think Rioli did one.
Okay, yeah. How and should players get punished for that? So, should they get punished for it, first of all?
I don't think so.
So, what's the... Just let them do it?
You have to be within range.
60 metres, so...
Depends on the player. Like 60 meters is Caleb Daniels not going to kick 60, but one like Darling might. So if you're within range, you can take your 30 seconds as long as it's even for anyone, like both clubs. Yeah. So, but I don't really mind it. Did you want to do the hot take?
Yeah, we'll do the hot take. So I'll ask your opinion too, because your team back in the day used to employ this strategy. So I think Charlie Cameron Paddock might be the best bet for the Lions to go all the way. I just don't trust Hipwood, McStay and McInerney. I don't think they're ready or dominant enough to be the focal points come September. They're more probably your hit-up type forwards, not your stay-at-home, bomb it into them one-on-one. So he's kicked 47 goals in 26 matches. Probably the best small forward by far in the comp at the moment. He's probably a point of difference for the Lions, a bit like DeGoey and Stevenson rotating through the goal square for Pies. I mean, you see how much Pies have missed Stevenson in that forward 50 he's quicker than most defenders. I mean, Charlie Cameron could easily do a Darren Jarman on grand final day. I'll ask you reckon there's a backward in the comp that could stop him? Maybe Shepherd. Shepherd's one for me.
But Cameron still might have a bit too much pace for Shepherd.
Exactly. So there's issues.
That's a good call. So he's definitely the type of player that can win you a non-smooth thing, bob up and kick 3 or 4. So he's easily the best small forward in the game at the moment. And Fagan even compared him to Silver Rioli. So I reckon you still need the tools. I reckon if you can play Cameron front and centre and just crumb, he'll be impossible to stop, I reckon. Especially if you have Christensen and Rayner buzzing around.
Well, that's the thing. I think the space is the key. So even if it's not him one out, just 2 or 3 man forward line, let him run around.
Yeah, and get the guys like Neil and McGluggage kicking the ball. So they have really good kicks. So, would you be backing the Brisbane to win the premiership if they can finish top 2?
Yeah, on a roll at the moment. So
we'll do a comprehensive preview of the final round, maybe next week.
So I think next week we've got some unsigned players that could win a final. We said we'd talk about that, so we'll do that maybe. And we're going to a Roos Port game, so we'll do maybe a live review,
I was thinking
depending
that
on
as
how
well.
we're going.
On the way here, maybe just a live halftime update.
Depending on the score, of course.
So it'll maybe just be one of us talking. All right, thanks for listening, guys.
See you next week.